Hi ladies, Myra Medhurst coming to you live inside the private Facebook group, The Golden Path Experience. The last two lives I've been on my personal page, my personal profile, but today I just really feel, I've had a massage this morning, so I'm just feeling a little bit tender and sensitive and inward. And I just really want to share this message with the sisters inside the group today. So here we are. If this is the first time you've ever heard me speak on the internet, hi Laura, hey, how are you? Please say hi and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you tend to be watching these Facebook Lives along in the sequence and you're getting some value out of them, even better, you're implementing what I'm teaching and you're getting incredible breakthroughs, that's huge. Send me a heart if that's happening for you. And if you're watching the replay, you can hashtag replay. That way I can circle back around, see that you've made this live. So if there's some days in the group where you haven't seen a live, it's because I've posted for that day out on my personal profile page. And so you might just kind of have to dance between the two. And I really don't know what I need to share today. I've got a feeling that this one might be a little bit more behind the scenes. And I'm feeling a bit of a business talk. Yeah, I love business. I really do. That's what I can share. So for a long part of my life, I split my love of business. This is my third company. For those that are new members, this is my third company. My first business was in a special events management business. I'd freelance between Australia and America, putting on huge outdoor festivals, Chinese New Year, government delegations, kind of real theatrical experiences and art installations, so a huge variety of events. Personal development seminars. I worked in Sydney for a multi-speaker, multi-day personal development company as well. My second business was running a restaurant in Melbourne. I had 10 full-time staff and then a team of casuals and part-timers. I built that business up from absolute scratch. Well, less than scratch. That business was hemorrhaging money. I built it up, eventually sold it and tripled my money. And then this is my third business. This is a company that I run now. And I've got staff, freelancers, and but mainly me. It's just me. So that's a big part, this enterprise piece to me. I love sharing so much about business, about money, about energetics. And as you should really know by now, is my love of ascension, my love of the evolution of human consciousness, this awakening process that's happening within our bodies and also happens across the planet. I love teaching about sacred geometry, Akashic records, the DNA. And so for a long time in my life, I split these two worlds for me. There was Myra, who was the priestess, who did all the ascension work, that was having Kundalini experiences spontaneously, was having soul remembrances. And then there was this other part of Myra that was like, how do I do this business piece? And I would separate my life out and compartmentalize these two parts of me. I did it for a very long time, and it would actually chew me up inside. It felt like I was split in two, and I'm already a Gemini, so this was like on steroids. There were these two big passions and love and messages that I had to share. And I was like, I don't care how long it takes me, I'm going to figure this out. And it became my only goal for a long time, was like, how do I unify? How do I marry the world of ascension with the world of enterprise? That's all I wanted in the world, was to bring that unification so I could feel myself whole, because I felt so split and kind of torn apart inside. This is like one of the key messages to the Golden Path experience. It literally became a golden path of ascension, of connecting with my higher self and my divinity. But the gold is also the abundance and the money of the gold color ray. The more I could step into my higher self and trust the divinity that was flooding down through my crown, the more I could unlock and kind of unleash the power that I had in my voice, the more the money flowed and flowed. And then I realized something. I realized, perhaps I think mainly through religion, but also very big other organizations of indoctrination, is they've taught humanity to split these two, the path of ascension and the path of enterprise. And then I realized that they were actually never meant to separate. They were always unified. And the more I worked at it, and the more I built this business out, and the more I stepped into my three-folded flame, the more I could anchor my soul's highest mission, I realized that the worlds were never separated. The pathway of ascension is the pathway of enterprise. You are building your enterprise of light. This is your temple of light. And yes, there are different strategies and kind of different pieces to them. But the more and more you get higher up into like these higher realms of playing at a different level, you realize that the two worlds are actually one. And that was been a massive breakthrough for me. Several years ago, I was like, oh, it's like, I get it. I get it. It's like I share that wisdom. I share that code now with all of the women that do privates. They do in the group mentorship. They're in the Soul's Highest Mission experiences and have the month coaching. It's like those two worlds were always unified. And when it drops in, it's like, poof, you can absolutely just skyrocket. You skyrocket. Because it was always about coming back into the sovereignty, unleashing what the voice had to say. And one experience I haven't shared yet, I was chatting to Ben about it last night, but when I did that song again, and because I did it publicly, it's got more amplification to it. But I said after that, the third eye, which for me has been open, I'd say most of my life, it's open, but it's difficult for me to access if you're blocked at the throat. And so once the opening came up and out through song and the song lines of the body, I began to see color. I began to see color again in my normal waking state, and it probably lasted for about 6 hours. Blues, violets, purples, oranges, greens. And I had that last after swimming with the humpback whales. I did that for 3 days in Hervey Bay, Australia, about 2 years ago. And on the end of the second day and all of the third day, it was over 24 hours of full color rays, all through my natural seeing human eyes. Yeah. So it's important to me that I continue to share this ascension piece and the enterprise piece, because to me, we're talking with the same portal. It's like the same world that you get to create in. And usually the blockages or areas of restriction in the ascension process are the same blockages and restrictions you have in your business. It's like they were never separated. So the more the women in here, you can see that as a unified field, the more you can unify and bring the marriage of those two worlds together, you will completely experience business, your message, the way that you create money, the way that you care for money, the way that you hold money and be a custodian of it is very different. It is a very different energetic template to what I've done in the past with the other two businesses. Entirely different. And so for the new members, if you're new here, there's I know my clients so well. I know you so well. And when you join the group, it's like, yeah, you'll be at different levels. I'm very quick to determine what level you're at. And there's no better or worse or right or wrong. The levels are infinite anyway. It's like there's no destination to arrive at. There's no final destination. We just leave this play, come back again and have another incarnation and have another game at it. And when the woman joins this group, I'll be like, okay, quickly here. Okay, you're really strong at that. You're a very experienced practitioner. You're a very embodied woman. You have incredible modalities and a depth of understanding of your craft. Highly creative, highly psychic, highly intuitive. Usually I get women in that space, sometimes the other way around. They're very different. I can explain them out. I get them in that space. I know your client journey so well. I know where you need to go next. And so the first place is to join the group, then watch along with the Facebook Lives. You can go to the guide section and there's masterclasses in there. The Trinity is an absolute fantastic masterclass to start with. Trinity talks about the 3 energetic archetypes that I've used to build this whole company out. Code of the Priestess, that's position number 1. The flame of divine power. The creative is the flame of divine love. And then we have the CEO or entrepreneur, and she's the flame of divine wisdom. Those 3, and it creates this triangle, the Trinity. And so that is a brilliant masterclass. It comes with workbooks. It's all free in the guide section. Just scroll down and you'll see the Trinity masterclass. I've got multidimensional in there. I'm releasing Cosmic Rewrite soon. That's going to be an 8-day free masterclass of completely reshaping your reality and becoming the CEO of your cellular structure. This is literally how I create relationships, the people, the places. Everywhere I go, money flows. Money flows to me wherever I go. People are shocked at the money I make now in this business because it's like I don't lead with that. Rarely would I do if I'm very intentional and specific about, okay, I need to teach the women this piece now. International retreats. I ran a special events management business for 10 years. My retreats are life-changing and exceptional. They are theatrical pieces. I transport you into a whole other world, a whole other reality. And they are activations, portals of growth. Is it clicking over? Okay, it's clicking over. I'll keep going. So starting out all of the free resources in the group and follow along with the daily lives, the coaching, energetic updates and insights like that, okay? It's a really good place to start, and you'll know if the energy in here is right. You know if there's a resonance with my teachings. Then if you live locally on the Sunshine Coast in Australia, I'd get along to a temple night. They're held monthly on the new moon. There's one this Sunday, the 10th of March, new moon in Pisces. That way you get to sit in the temple, you get to sit with the sisterhood community and connection, and you get to see a little bit more of my craft and priestess magic. After that, the next piece must be the soul's highest mission reading. It has to be. You do not understand how important this step is. This reading blows people's minds. I've had people just come to the reading and then they're like, poof! They've like skyrocketed in their life and business, and I've never seen them again. They give me updates though. But it is that pivotal, pivotal, sorry. My massage is kicking in now, which is really nice. I mean, this is how deep and profound that process is. And so it's like any staff member I hire, I only hire them if they agree to take their soul's highest mission reading. Like, this is how important it is to me. Everyone at the retreats, can you understand the level of intentionality, possibility, and sorcery magic when you have 12 women turn up from all around the world? They're dropped in for 7 days to journey the retreat together, and every single woman has done her soul's highest mission reading. It is next level when you consciously and are fully aware of why your mum and dad had sex that night and you arrived, of the millions of trillions of chances that it takes, and the miracle that you are to be here. Your soul's highest mission talks to that. It's not a personality reading. It's not an astrology reading. It's not for a season of your life. These are the 3 crystalline templates that reside in your Merkaba. This is a soul signature reading. It's the whole reason why you're here. What musical notes and what gifts you have to share with humanity. I've had women do that reading and then fully leave certain careers and reestablish themselves in whole new industries and actually like skyrocket to the moon. I've had women in tears crying that they finally understand what they are actually here to do. There's a homecoming and a deep resonance. That's the soul's highest mission reading. After that, you're free to travel. You're free to travel and come into a retreat. You're free to travel to come into private mentorship if you want to build out an enterprise piece. People need extra support and care where I'm just mentoring them in normal life, relationship, the awakening process. That looks like a private one-on-one, and the minimum term I work is 6 months, no less. It's a disservice if I work less. Then there are other women, they want the group mentorship. This is a mastermind level. This is a high level. Women earning over $1 million, $2 million a year in massive businesses. Some of them are coaches, healers, artists, mothers. And they journey together for 6 months in the community, in the mastermind, having fantastic goals, and all of them have done their soul's highest mission. They know they are a leading lady of the light and they are here to serve humanity and their community. It's exceptional. It's exceptional. It's extraordinary. Women claiming their power and claiming money and abundance. You know what rips me up? I get so frustrated. I get really, really sad about this, is seeing so many talented healers, artists, creatives, priestess sisters, and they are so broke. They are so broke. They're exhausted. Their adrenal glands are fucked. They're mothers at the same time, and it's like they just don't have enough money to breathe. And they are highly talented. That just gets me so upset because I used to be that woman, and now it's like I will not do that. I will not create that. I stand for something incredibly different. And here's the thing. I don't have a sales team. I don't have time for it, and I don't want that responsibility on me. If you've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you've got the wobbles, you're unsure, it's like, I don't have a sales team. Like, I'm going to manage your expectations, and I'm not going to give you a follow-up call. I'm not going to persuade you or sell to you that this is what I think you should do. I honor that you are a leading lady of the light. You God well damn know what to do. It's either a yes or a no or a maybe, and the maybe can be later. But I'm not going to chase you. I do not have a sales team. There's no follow-up calls for me. But what I do is I have client support. You've all met May. If you haven't yet, she's my virtual assistant. She's absolutely amazing. She's been with me for 3 years. She's extraordinary and exceptional. You'll love her. I have a client support team. So if you'd like more information, contact May. If you'd like a payment link, contact May. If you'd like a payment plan or something where I can maybe make it easier for you, contact May. You will get support, but I'm not going to sell to you, but I'm happy to communicate to you. I'm happy to communicate to you what the offers are, what the retreats are, what the packages are. But you're divine. You have so much wisdom, you will know. I honor that in you. That's sacred. There's a bigger piece to this as well about the money, is that I see things on the macro level and on the micro level. It's like I can't separate those worlds. It happens naturally all the time. And so what's been happening on the macro level across humanity and the planet for a really long time is the wounded masculine holding the channels of money and abundance. How this manifests is in the form of most of the money is held by men, and it's what I call blood money. Blood money is when it's either huge amounts of money and finance has been made through war, the buying and selling of ammunition, the buying, selling, and trading of child labor, child sex trafficking, these sorts of things. There are really big, like dark things on the planet. They are beginning to dissolve. But this is what I call the kind of energetic template of the masculine, the wounded masculine money kind of channel grid. And I refer to that as blood money. There's a very new thing happening on the planet. Some people know it. Some people feel it intuitively. Very rare could someone actually articulate what's happening. When you understand repeating cyclical patterns, you understand that there's a grander cycle of time happening on the planet, and you actually know what return of the divine feminine means, it comes easy to predict and fall. I think I'm still live. It just disconnected with a low connection. But that there's a certain new energetic template available for the flow of money and abundance. What this looks like. This looks like those understanding and embodying the feminine principle. You have to have that. Not just because you're a female, a feminine principle. You have to then do what you love and separate out of time. Because when you're doing what you love, you could do it all night long. You go into the timeless dimension and you're not watching the clock. It's like, oh, I've got to get paid for 3 hours because It's like, no, when you're doing what you love, you would just do it for all time. You just do it all day, all night, and not even eat. So you have to be doing what you love. And then there's a reversal energetic cycle system currently happening on the planet. I've not heard anyone talk about this. It's just, I know energetically, mechanically how things work. But I've had this massive download. Is all of the money that has gone out and has been created through the masculine principle is an outward trajectory. So we could say that cycle of money that's currently on the planet is running in a clockwise direction. That's like an outward expression. The role of a leading lady of the light, I believe it is part of the reason why we're here and why we're called into business. I believe it's why we must make large sums of money, because the money that I create is created in a reversal system. If we're to imagine the clock and the flow of money now traveling anti-clockwise, that would be the negative ion. And there's a huge portion that is built up. It's been built up after eons and eons of the masculine principle making the money in the outward journey. The balance of that scale is sitting dormant on the other side. So it is the leading lady of the light that knows this information. She goes out, stands in her power, is willing and able to accept large sums of money, but she's doing it in the reversal system, which is the feminine path of the negative. And so you send out this balancing signal to the universe. I call this a very huge duty and an honor to do that, because essentially what we are doing is we are washing the money clean of the blood. And so the money, physical money, then gets restored back into equilibrium when things are neither inflated or deflated. It's a synthesis of those two energies. It actually sits in the field of love. This could be really advanced for some people in here. I'm sorry if it's advanced, but just do your best to kind of catch up and carry along. But this is the difference. This is the difference of how I make money now in my third company. Because energetically, I'm sending all of my attention back into the reversal spin of what has occurred on the planet, and I'm restoring it back to the balance of the outward journey of that masculine, more, greed, power, dishonesty, lies, deception. You cannot create that whole field without the energetics on the other side to balance that. And so it's just sitting there. For the women, it is eons and eons and eons of abundance created in a balanced, unified field, just sitting there dormant. And when you understand this energy, you turn your attention around and you're like, holy moly, it is game on for a leading lady of the light now. My relationship to money and the channels in which I make it are entirely new way of an energetic print, because there's been a global kind of conscious, like this grid that's been placed over humanity and over the planet, and it's locked us into a particular paradigm. And that is crumbling, that is dissolving, and that is falling away. So what is the new energetic architecture then? It's unified. It must be unified from the masculine and the feminine principle. And so the first step is to send the energy back. Yeah, you get it, Marama. This is advanced teaching. I have a lot of mentors. I'm in a lot of esoteric new age spaces where I follow along with things that are getting dropped all the time. I've not heard anyone describe it in this way, but you will, if it sits with you, it will intuitively feel right in your body. Because the circulation of money needs to be washed clean and restored to peace. It has to be restored to love. Only then can we use money to build out the new earth and the new communities, or whatever the societies, the different groups and establishments that we wish to have, the different governing bodies that we choose to create. It is entirely new. I absolutely love teaching enterprise. This is a real quantum understanding. I would say that this is fifth dimensional teaching and well beyond, integrated with 3D reality, integrated with the structures, with the website, Like, yes, of course, I know that's the field I play in. That's why people are either shocked or they don't believe, or they're like, how do you get those numbers of that turning through your business when you don't follow the traditional steps? I am not salesy. I do not have a sales team. I do a different energetic flow, and I've said to the planet, I've said to humanity, watch me. I'll create the new system myself, but the whole cosmos, the whole orbit of the planet supports what I'm doing. It's like when you understand the golden path at that level, it's like banked up the other side of the scale of what has occurred on this planet. The other side to balance that exists, and you just have to open yourself up to it, know a few little things of energetically how to receive, how to stand in your power, your wisdom, and your love. The fastest way to make money is to understand your three-folded flame and then work your power flame and unleash your voice. I assure you, you will make money in your bank account before the end of the week. Yeah, leading the way, Marama. That's it. We're here to bring it. This is really high level information. So I'm going to end this piece because I have to pick my son up from primary school. But what I'm going to say, I'm going to leave you with this. Last week, I had 3 women contact me working privately for 6 months. This happens, I'm not going to say all the time, but this is happening more frequently now in my world. One thing I'm going to say, I don't have a sales team. I'm not going to sell to you. I'm not going to follow up with you. This work best suits the woman when she's able to hold herself through that wobble and you know you're a yes. So I've got May, she will support you. She would send you a payment link. If you need a payment plan, just ask us. I'm happy to arrange it with the women. But the women I attract are a yes. They're ready for their soul's highest mission. They're ready to ignite it, anchor it deep into the earth, and we are off and flying. That's the way I work. I love you so much. You are so much more powerful. Your words matter. Your stories matter. Your voices matter. Let me know if this information's landing today. This is a big Facebook Live. This is a massive piece. This is real, advanced teaching about where the money is actually coming from and how I would actually open myself up to energetically even receive it if it was coming to me. It's not for me, it's for the healing of the planet, it's for the healing of the new earth and the generation of the children of the law of one. There are children back on the planet that know Atlantis. We call them the children of the law of one. That's why we have to return the money back to the law of one. I love you so much. Eek! There are big things afoot. And remember, follow your golden path. All right, I better not be late for school pickup. Bye, everyone.